The rain had been coming down since noon, the kind that doesn't fall so much as settle in, like a bill you keep meaning to pay. Dale was at her desk with a cold cup of coffee and a colder look, screening the morning the way a customs man screens a freighter. Most of what comes through that door she sends back. This one she didn't.
There's a woman out here. Says it can't wait. I told her everything waits. That's what waiting rooms are for. She's got an envelope she keeps folding and unfolding, like it'll read different the next time. Want me to send her in, or tell her you drowned?
Send her in, Dale. A woman who can't sit still in the rain usually came a long way to do it.
They condemned my father's shop. 40 years on the waterfront, and they put a paper on the glass and called it a hazard. He built that block with his hands. He died, still thinking he owned a piece of it.
A condemnation's a city matter. You want a lawyer, not a man with a bottle in his drawer.
I had a lawyer. He read the order. Then he stopped returning my calls. That's when I started wondering, who signs a thing like this? And whether the same hand that signs it is the hand that wanted the block. I think you already know the answer, Detective. I think that's why you're still holding it.
I looked at the letterhead. A tidy municipal seal, a signature line, an office number, and one corridor down from that office, behind a door I'd been told to walk away from, sat the men who'd sent me a polite little warning to stop pulling threads. I should have folded the paper back into her hands and wished her dry weather. Instead, I read it twice. Some warnings you hear loud and clear, and some you fold up small and put in your own pocket just to feel the weight of where it leads. The back room at the Chronicle smelled like cold coffee and hot lead. Flynn cleared a desk with his forearm and turned the lamp down low, the way a man does when he doesn't want the rest of the room to see what he's reading. He'd called me there instead of the office. That told me something before he said a word.
Look at it. Go on, look. A whole block condemned, families out by the end of the month, and there's not a thumbprint on the thing. Routed through 3 departments, stamped twice, filed in triplicate. It's perfect. That's what's wrong with it. Paper this clean didn't come from a man. It came off a line.
Buildings get condemned every week, Flynn. That's just the city eating its own.
Not like this. I've seen this bookkeeping before. The same clean hand that bought a courthouse corner and never left a fingerprint on the deed. Routing numbers that double back on themselves, money that washes whiter the further up it goes. This is the same ground you were told to walk away from. I'm saying it plain so neither of us pretends later we didn't know.
So nobody signed it. You said it yourself. No hand.
1, bottom of the order, corner you'd miss if you weren't looking. A clerk's initials in real ink. I went down to put a face to them this afternoon. Desks cleared. They transferred him last Tuesday. Nobody could tell me where, and the fellow at the next desk got real interested in his typewriter when I asked twice.
A machine that builds itself out of clean paper still needs one living hand to sign at the bottom. And the minute the ink dries, the machine forgets the hand was ever there. They'd already moved him somewhere I couldn't follow. The only name on the order belonged to a man the city had finished using, which meant if I wanted him, I'd be digging in the exact dirt I'd been warned to leave alone. She'd picked a diner at the end of a wet block, the kind of place where the coffee tastes like the rain looks. She was already in the back booth when I came in, gloves still on, like she didn't plan to touch anything in this city she didn't have to. I'd been working 3 days to save her corner. Turned out she'd buried it weeks ago.
Sit down before you say it. You found out the block is gone. Whoever I sell to, whoever I don't, the men who want it have already won. You came here to break that to me gently.
That's the size of it. There's no fight left to have. So you can save your money, lady. I don't take a fee for telling a woman the house is already underwater.
I've known the block was lost since spring. I didn't hire you to save it. I hired you to bring me a name. The hand that did this, the one that signs nothing and shows up nowhere. I want to know what to call it when I lie awake.
A name like that comes with no creditor. There's nobody to send the bill to, nobody to drag into a courtroom. You'd be paying me for a word you can't spend anywhere.
I'm not buying justice, Mr. Flynn. I'm buying a reason. Men like you always need one before you'll dig where it's dangerous. Some grief, some debt, some name to hate. So I'm handing you mine. Take it, and we both find out which kind of man you are.
She said it soft, the way you'd tell a man his number was up. And she wasn't wrong. The smart play was to drink the bad coffee, wish her luck, and go home to a city that had already told me to stop. But a name with no creditor is still a name. And somewhere behind it was a hand I'd been warned to leave alone, which meant the only question left in the booth was whether I was done pulling threads, or whether I just hadn't found the bottom of one yet. The back room at the Chronicle smelled of ink and cold coffee and the kind of news that never makes the page. Flynn had the order spread under the lamp when I came in, smoothing it flat like a man who knows the corners matter. A clerk had put his name on this, one signature, in a hand that meant to be remembered. Now somebody wanted it forgotten.
Word came back an hour ago. Your clerk, the one who signed, gone. Not run, not bought, not in the river. Erased. Transferred to a department that doesn't exist, paid out to an account that closed before it opened. Same routing they used on that courier you put on the midnight train. No body, no noise, just clean paper saying he was never quite here.
Same hand that built the courier built this. That's not two tricks, Flynn. That's one machine, doing the only thing it knows.
And it's airtight. There's nothing to print. The route's still closed. Every stamp on here is legitimate. That's the genius of it. It's so tidy, it argues itself out of existing. So what are you doing with a pencil?
Copying it. Every stamp, every step, the order they did it in. Not for your paper, for me. The men upstairs had sent their warning through the blue room, soft as a hand on the shoulder. Stop digging. And here I was, copying their tidiest disappearance line by line into a notebook nobody asked me to keep. I didn't say a word back to them. I didn't have to. A man who keeps the method isn't a man who's putting down the shovel, because here's the thing about a clean job. To erase a man with paper, you have to write more paper. And every stamp that makes him vanish is one more stamp that says somebody made him vanish. The machine had answered my question without meaning to. Its neatest trick still left a seam, and I'd just written the seam down. The block came down on schedule, the way the rain comes down, without asking, without apology. By morning there'd be a hole in the city where a corner used to be, and a woman walking out of it with her name and not much else. They told me to leave it alone. I'd left it alone the way a man leaves a loose tooth alone. I took what I'd copied off the method, the trick of how they did it, clean and quiet and from above, and I laid it in the desk drawer, next to the bottle, where I keep the things I'm not ready to use and not willing to throw out.
You're putting it away, not burning it. I noticed. So did the drawer.
Filing. A man files things.
He does. And a man who heard somebody tell him to stop, real polite, with a card and a clean envelope, that man files the thing they told him to drop, where he can reach it without standing up. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just naming it out loud, so one of us did.
They asked nice. I'm being nice back. I haven't said a word.
No, you just kept the shovel.
She put on her coat and went home, and she was right, the way she's always right. Quietly and without making me say it, I'd answered them, not with a word, with a drawer that didn't quite shut. Somewhere across town the machine was satisfied it had been understood, and it had, just not the way it wanted. It would find that out. These things always do. The only question left was how long the quiet would hold, and what came walking through the door when it didn't.